I stood on the street corner across from the flower shop, clutching 999 red roses I'd just picked up. My eyes were locked on the couple kissing not far away. The guy was Ethan, Maya's ex-boyfriend. I'd seen his photos on her Instagram before. Back then. She'd laughed and said, "That's ancient history. We're just friends now." The girl was Maya. My girlfriend of 7 years. My fiancée. Who was supposed to go with me to the county clerk's office tomorrow to get our marriage license. Right now she was on her tiptoes. Arms wrapped around Ethan's neck. Her face pressed into his chest with an intimacy I'd never seen before. This wasn't a polite greeting between acquaintances. It wasn't a friendly hug. It was a real kiss full of longing and affection. It felt like someone had dumped a bucket of ice water over my head. Cold from my scalp to the soles of my feet. My mind flooded with fragments of these past 7 years. Our first date. When she was so nervous she spilled her boba tea. And I laughed while wiping it off her chin. When she worked late into the night. I'd wait 2 hours downstairs at her company. Just to hand her a cup of hot ginger tea. Last year when her mom was in the hospital. I took time off work to stay with her. Handling everything without a single complaint. Last week. When we were picking out the house. She'd leaned on my shoulder and said, "It's gonna be so good waking up to you every day." Her voice full of love. All that sweetness and devotion I'd believed in. Now it all felt like a joke. I lifted my phone and hit record. In the frame. Maya tilted her head slightly. I could clearly see her eyes closed as she kissed Ethan back. My chest felt like someone had reached in and squeezed my heart so hard I couldn't breathe. So that's what she'd meant this morning when she said, "I'm going gift shopping with my best friend. I'll text you later." She was meeting her ex. So her tenderness could be handed to another man just like that. So after 7 years together. I didn't even deserve the truth. The scent of roses mixed with car exhaust drifted toward me. And now it just made me sick to my stomach. I hurled the bouquet into the trash can on the sidewalk. My phone was still in my hand. Screen lit up. Maya's message was still there. "After we get the license. Let's go get hot pot your favorite." The words pricked like needles behind my eyes. I stood there watching as they finally pulled apart. Maya reached up to straighten Ethan's collar. The movement so natural and practiced. Then they walked off side by side. Looking perfect together. So perfect that for 7 years. I was the one who didn't belong. The wind picked up and I shivered. Suddenly everything was clear. 7 years of devotion. A lifetime of promises. All of it fake. Tomorrow's marriage license. Forget it. I'm not going through with this wedding. I didn't glance at the couple on the corner again. I turned and walked away. All I could see on replay was her on her tiptoes. Arms around Ethan's neck. The image looped over and over. Throbbing behind my temples. I remembered my birthday last year. She'd held me just like that. Said she wanted to spend forever with me. And even knitted me a scarf herself. The stitches were crooked. But I'd treasured it. Back then I was sure she was the one. 7 years together. From high school to the working world we'd earned our happy ending. Our ending. Turns out the ending was catching her kissing her ex the day before our wedding. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. I'd even drafted a caption for Instagram to post tomorrow. 7 years and going strong. The rest of my life with you. Now it just sounded pathetic. I opened my drafts folder and deleted the whole thing without hesitation. On the way home. The wind bit at my face. But I barely felt it. I pulled up the county clerk's appointment page. The cancel appointment button stared back at me. My finger hovered over it. But I couldn't press down. It wasn't that I was having second thoughts. I just couldn't believe it. 7 years. We'd squeezed together through morning rush hour on the subway. We'd eaten instant noodles in our tiny rental apartment. We'd scrimped and saved for a down payment. So tight I wouldn't even buy myself new clothes. I thought what we had was unbreakable. Turns out it was this fragile. When I got home, I kicked off my shoes and collapsed on the couch. The video I'd shot that afternoon was still on my phone. I opened it, turned up the volume, and watched Maya kiss him back. Clear as day. I stared at the screen, replaying it again and again until my eyes burned. The last flicker of doubt in my chest died completely. I opened the appointment page again. This time, without pausing, I hit cancel appointment. Right after. My mom called. She told me to get over to the restaurant right away. Right, we were supposed to have a family dinner with Maya tonight. I grabbed my phone and headed out. The private dining room was loud and festive. I sat in the corner, my thumb rubbing absently at my phone case. Maya had bought me that case last year. It had a photo of us on it. Now just touching it made my skin crawl. Everyone at the table was chatting about tomorrow's license and the wedding plans. My mom was grinning from ear to ear, saying, "Maya's such a good girl. She'll take great care of you." My dad nodded along and joked, "When are you two gonna have kids? We're still young enough to help out." Everyone was wrapped up in the celebration except me. I sat there like an outsider, not saying a word, just thinking about how Maya had been sweet-talking me over text that morning. "I am gonna look so beautiful for you tomorrow," and then spent the afternoon in Ethan's arms made my stomach turn. The door swung open and Maya walked in. She was wearing that cream-colored dress I'd bought her with my bonus last month. Back then she'd hugged and kissed me, saying, "Liam, you're the best." Now seeing her in it just felt ironic. She came straight over and slipped her arm through mine, her fingers brushing my wrist lightly. That used to make me melt. Now all I wanted to do was pull away. "Is everyone here?" Maya greeted the elders with that sickly sweet smile of hers. But her eyes wouldn't meet mine. They darted around the room, like she was hiding something. She leaned in, her voice just for me. "Don't drink too much tonight. Okay? We have to get up early tomorrow." I didn't answer. I didn't even look at her. A memory flashed through my mind. At a family dinner once, she'd held my arm just like this and told my mom, "Don't worry, ma'am. I'll take good care of Liam." Her eyes had sparkled with sincerity back then. I thought I'd finally found my happiness. Turns out the happiness was fake. The betrayal was real. Dish after dish arrived. Glasses clinked again and again. My mom raised her cup and cleared her tea, wrote, "All right everyone. Let's toast to Liam and Maya. May tomorrow go smoothly. And may your life together be wonderful." Everyone stood, glasses held high, smiling. Maya stood too, squeezing my arm tighter and nudging me to raise my glass. I took a deep breath, pushing down the churning in my chest. Instead of picking up my glass, I grabbed my phone. "Before we toast," I said, my voice calm and clear, "I think everyone should watch something first. Then you can decide if congratulations are in order." The room went dead silent. All the laughter vanished. My mom blinked. "Liam, what are you talking about? What video?" Maya's body went rigid. Her grip on my arm loosened. "Liam, don't be silly. Everyone's waiting to drink." I ignored her. I hit play on the video, turned the volume all the way up, and held the screen out for everyone to see. There it was, Maya on her tiptoes, arms wrapped around Ethan's neck, kissing him like they couldn't get enough. Clear as day for the whole table to see. The room that had been buzzing a second ago went so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Every eye was glued to the screen, then snapped back to Maya, full of shock. Maya's face went white. She scrambled for my phone, her voice shaking. "Liam, stop it. What is this garbage? It's a misunderstanding, has to be." I stepped back before she could reach it. "A misunderstanding?" I saw it with my own eyes. "You think I'm making this up?" Her cousin slammed her hand on the table and yelled, "Liam, what is wrong with you? Your phone must be glitching. We know what kind of person Maya is. Don't you dare accuse her like that." I scoffed and ignored her. Maya used to tell me her cousin was the one who always had her back, who'd defend her no matter what. Turns out having her back meant lying for her even when she was clearly in the wrong. Birds of a feather, I guess. When Maya couldn't grab the phone, she grabbed my arm instead, tears bursting out. "Liam, please listen. We ran into each other. That's all." He was upset and I was comforting him. "That wasn't a kiss, it was just, we accidentally bumped into each other." Accidentally bumped into each other. I shook her off harder than I meant to. She stumbled and nearly fell. I looked at her and felt nothing but disgust. "You accidentally stood on your tiptoes and wrapped your arms around his neck. You accidentally kissed him for that long. Maya, do you think I'm blind? Or do you think everyone in this room is blind?" My mom was panicking, pulling at my arm. "Liam, let's talk about this calmly. Don't make a scene." Calmly. I turned to my mom, my voice exhausted. "Mom, look at what she did in that video. How am I supposed to talk about this calmly? I'm supposed to marry her tomorrow. And today she's all over another man. If I actually went through with this, How could I ever hold my head up again? My dad's face had gone dark. He sat there quiet, clearly stunned. Maya kept crying, repeating it's a misunderstanding over and over. But no matter how hard she cried, I didn't feel a thing. I remembered how she used to pout and shed a few tears, and I'd drop everything to comfort her. Now I realized those tears might have been real, but her heart was never fully mine. I picked up my phone and stopped the video. I'm sorry, everyone. I know this is embarrassing. I looked right at Maya as I spoke. But this relationship ends tonight. Tomorrow's appointment is cancelled. The wedding is off. Without looking at Maya's ashen face. Without listening to whatever her cousin wanted to say. I turned and walked out of the room. At the door, I heard Maya call my name through her sobs. But I kept walking. I didn't look back. Not even once. Outside the restaurant, the evening wind cleared my head even more. I didn't break down crying like they do in TV shows. I didn't go back to argue. I just wanted to get home and throw out everything that had anything to do with her. When I opened the door, her pink slippers were still by the entrance. Our matching keychain sat on the shoe rack. Those little things used to feel sweet. Now they just felt like needles in my eyes. I didn't even change my shoes. I went straight to the couch and started deleting things on my phone. First her number. Then all our text messages. As I scrolled through old texts, I saw one from last winter. Liam. I saw roasted sweet potatoes on my way home and remembered you love them. I got one. I'm waiting downstairs at your company. My chest twinged. But then the image of that street corner came back. And the twinge was swallowed by disgust. After texts, I deleted her on everything else social media. All those couple accounts we'd made. I'd made a separate account just to post our photos and cute moments. Now I hit delete without a second thought. Watching the account deleted confirmation pop up felt like lifting a weight off my chest. I needed a new phone number too. I knew Maya wow. LD call and text nonstop. Better to cut everything off clean than deal with the headache. I popped out my SIM card and threw it in the trash. Then ordered a new one online. It'd arrive tomorrow. When that was done, I stood up and started clearing the apartment. On the bookshelf was the puzzle we'd put together. I'd spent 2 weeks on it for her birthday. She'd cried and hugged me, saying it was the most thoughtful gift she'd ever gotten. I took it down, glanced at it once, and stuffed it in the back of a storage bin. No point in destroying it. I just didn't want to see it. Sealing it away felt like closing the book on all of it. By the nightstand, I found our thick photo album. From awkward college photos to trips after we started working, 7 years of memories in one book. I opened to the first page. Our first date. She was wearing a white floral dress, smiling so wide her eyes crinkled shut. She seemed so innocent back then. How did she turn into this? I closed the album. I couldn't bring myself to tear it up. So it went in the bin with the puzzle. It wasn't that I still cared. It just felt like, even if 7 years was a mistake, there was no need to erase every last trace. The day after I got my new number, I decided to hit the gym and sweat out whatever was left of this frustration. But as soon as I pushed through the glass doors, I saw Maya crouched by the front desk. Her hair was a mess. Her eyes red and puffy, staring right at me. Of course she found me here. She even tracked down my gym. Before I could turn around, she was on her feet and running toward me. Voice cracking. Liam. You're here. I've been looking for you for days. She reached for my arm. Just like she always did when she wanted to make up after a fight. That used to make me cave instantly. Now her hand felt like a hot iron against my skin. I stepped aside automatically. Her hand grasped at thin air and hung there. Don't follow me. I didn't look at her. My voice was I headed straight for the weights. She trailed behind me. Step for step. Rambling on. Liam. Will you just listen? That day really was a misunderstanding. Ethan and I just. Shut up. I stopped and turned to her. The disgust in my eyes was impossible to hide. I don't want to hear his name. And I don't want your excuses. You know exactly what happened. Stop lying to yourself. I went back to my workout without another word. Adjusted the weight on the bench press. And started warming up. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see her standing in the corner. Just watching me. We used to come to the gym together. She'd hand me water and wipe my sweat. And after we'd get late night food and she'd complain about some guy with bad form on the machines. Back then I thought it was the best thing in the world. Even working out with her. Now her presence just made me uncomfortable. Killed my whole mood. I pushed harder than usual. Moving faster. Sweat dripping off my forehead onto the floor. The anger drained out of me a little with every rep. She tried to come over a few times. But one cold look from me sent her back. When I finished my last set, I grabbed my towel and water bottle and headed straight for the locker room. I didn't glance at her in the corner. Not once. On my way out, the girl at the front desk leaned in and whispered, "Sir. That woman's been here since we opened this morning. She's been waiting for you." I just nodded and kept walking. Outside the gym. I finally breathed. I glanced back. Maya wasn't following. It's not that I'm cruel. I just know how this works. Once this kind of thing happens once, it happens 100 times. If I cave now, I'll only be more miserable later. If it's over, it's over. Clean break. No hope for her. No second chances for me. A few days later, I was coming home from work. The evening air felt nice as I turned into my apartment complex, and there she was. Crouched by my building. Maya. Her hair was messy. Her eyes swollen like walnuts. In her hand was a white pill box, the exact kind of stomach medicine I took. Anger flared up instantly. I turned to leave. But she'd already heard my footsteps. She shot up and ran toward me. "Liam. You're home." She was breathless. She reached for me. Then hesitated. Her hand hovering in midair. She was squeezing the pill box so hard it was crumpled. "I know your stomach's been bad. These are the ones you take. I bought you new ones. Save it." I cut her off. Voice freezing. "What's the point of all this? Really?" Tears spilled down her face. "Liam. Nothing happened between Ethan and me. Can you just believe me? I saw you. How much longer are you going to lie?" I looked her dead in the eyes. Those eyes I used to think were so bright now looked full of nothing but lies. "Maya. Have some self-respect. Doesn't it get embarrassing? Lying to yourself like this?" Her face went pale. But she wouldn't give up. She tried to push the pill box into my hand. Even if you don't believe me, take care of yourself. Your stomach hurts and you get cold sweats. Just remember to take your medicine." I took the box. A flash of hope crossed her face, then I tossed it right into the trash can beside us. The box hit the ground and pills scattered everywhere. Just like her cheap, worthless concern. "Liam." She screamed and lunged for them. But I snapped. "Leave them. I don't need your fake sympathy." I stepped closer. Voice low and sharp. "Maya. I'm saying this one last time. We're done. Stop coming to find me. Stop showing up at my building. Next time I won't be so nice." When my stomach used to hurt, she'd make me oatmeal and hand me the pills herself. Back then it felt warm. Now her doing the exact same thing just made me sick. Where was she when it mattered? When she was kissing Ethan on that street corner? Did she stop to think about my bad stomach? She stood there staring at the pills on the ground. Sobbing so hard her whole body shook. "Liam, how can you be so cruel? 7 years. And you're just throwing it all away. You threw it away first." I turned toward the building without looking back. "You destroyed this. Don't blame me for being done with it." Inside the building, I could still hear her crying. But I didn't feel a thing. Some people, once they betray you, can never earn your trust back. I didn't want to drag this out. I didn't want to give her any opening. When I got home, I barely had time to sit down before the door slammed open. My mom stormed in, holding a newspaper, face thunderous. Before I could speak, she slammed the paper down on the coffee table. "Liam, have you lost your mind?" She pointed a finger at me, voice rising. "Maya's a great girl. Good family. Stable job, guys would kill to have someone like her. And you just threw it all away." My jaw tightened. Anger rose in my chest. Great. She was kissing her ex the day before our wedding. Is that really such a big deal? My mom rolled her eyes. Dismissive. So the ex came around. So what? It's nothing. Can't you just let it go? You're ruining a marriage that would set you up for life over this nonsense. Are you stupid? Set me up for life. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mom. You think this is nothing? She cheated on me. She betrayed me, betrayed 7 years of us. Is set me up for life all you care about? What else am I supposed to care about? That I'm as childish as you? My mom's hand was shaking. Your dad and I worked our whole lives. Sun up to sundown. So you wouldn't have to struggle like we did. Maya's family can help you so much. Marry her. And you won't have to worry about a house. A car. Even your kid's school. Why can't you see what's good for you? Love isn't a transaction. My chest felt tight. I'd work myself to the bone before I'd take an easy life built on betrayal. A marriage where I'm being cheated on. I don't want it. Not for anything. You don't know what you're talking about. She slammed her palm on the table. Love. Schmoove. Marriage is about making it work. You grit your teeth and get through it. You'll regret this. Mark my words. I won't regret it. I held her gaze. Jaw set. I'd rather be alone forever than spend my life with someone who's in love with somebody else. Mom. I get where you're coming from. But I can't do it. Do you think your dad and I had it easy? Her voice cracked. We worked factory shifts back to back. Our hands froze and cracked in winter. We sweated through our clothes in summerall to pay your tuition. Save for your down payment. We worked our whole lives so you could stand on our shoulders and have it easier. So you wouldn't suffer like we did. Her anger was getting to me too. But I didn't back down. Mom. I know you worked hard. I want you to have a good life too. But not like this. Like what? She cut me off. Sharper now. Maya's family can pave the way for you. You can skip 10 years of struggle. How is that not a good life? Just because she hugged some guy. You're throwing all of this away. You're ruining your own future. Hugged some guy. I laughed bitterly. I pulled up the video on my phone and shoved it in her face. Mom. Look. That's not a hug. That's a kiss. She's the one on her tiptoes. Arms around his neck. That's cheating. You want me to just get over it? How? What? After we're married. If she does it again. I'm just supposed to pretend I don't see it and keep living with her. A man has to be flexible. She looked away from the screen. But she was still defensive. Every marriage has its problems. You stick it out and you get the benefit of her money. Throw this away now. And you'll never find someone this good again. I'd rather never find anyone than live like that. I put my phone away. My chest ached. Mom. Your idea of a future is skipping 10 years of struggle. It's a house and a car. My idea of a future is someone who actually loves me. Who only has eyes for me. A future where I'm being cheated on. I don't want it. You're impossible. She was shaking with rage. She grabbed a mug off the table like she was going to throw it. Then slammed it back down. How did I raise such a stubborn son? You'll regret this. You wait and see. I won't. I looked right at her. Even if I struggle. At least I can look myself in the mirror. At least I have my dignity. She stared at me for a long time. Then huffed and turned for the door. Over her shoulder she said. Don't come crying to me later. The door slammed shut. I sank back onto the couch. Staring at the empty living room. My chest felt hollow and cold. I always thought home was where you felt safe. Turns out when your values don't line up. The people closest to you can hurt you the worst. But I didn't regret it. I knew what I was doing. Some lines you don't cross. Some dignity you don't give up. Even if nobody understands. I have to stand by what's right. I was working late until 10 that night. Stepping out of the office building. My phone pinged. A text from an unknown number. The profile picture was someone I recognized, one of Maya's friends. We'd gotten dinner a few times. The message made me frown. Liam. Please. Maya stood outside your building all night in the rain. She has a fever of 102. She's in the hospital on 4. And she keeps saying your name. Can you please come see her? I stared at the screen and felt nothing. Almost laughed. Actually. Where was all this before? When she was kissing Ethan on that corner. Did she think about any of this? Now she's miserable. Now she's playing the victim. My finger hovered for a second. Then I long pressed the message and hit delete. I blocked the number too. Back when she'd get even a little sick. I'd panic. Once she had a fever and I ran to 3 pharmacies in the middle of the night to find the right medicine. I sat up with her. Cooling her forehead. Didn't sleep a wink. Back then I thought she was the person I'd spend my life with. Taking care of her was my job. Now. She could have a fever of 104 and it wouldn't be my problem. She made her choice. She gets to live with it. I put my phone away and hailed a cab home. The next day at work. I slipped out to the hospital to pick up my checkup results. I was by the inpatient wing when I heard two nurses talking. That girl in room 3 is so sweet. 102 fever. And her boyfriend's been with her the whole time. Just went to get her some soup. Yeah. But she keeps saying another name. I think Liam or something. I paused. I didn't need to guess who they were talking about. And the boyfriend. Probably Ethan. Good for them. If they're so in love, they can be together. Just leave me out of it. I kept walking straight to the checkup center. When I got my results, the doctor said my stomach ulcer had gotten worse. Told me to watch my stress levels. Stop bottling things up. I nodded. But I knew the truth. The stress wasn't because I still cared about Maya. It was because being betrayed like that leaves a mark. Doesn't just go away overnight. I was heading for the exit. Report in hand. When I slowed by the 4-wing, I wasn't looking for anyone. I just happened to see a familiar figure by the door. Ethan. He was wearing a black jacket. Hair messy. Clutching a thermos. Staring into the room. He heard my footsteps and looked up. Panic flashed in his eyes. And he instinctively stepped in front of the doorway like he was hiding something. Guilty didn't even cover it. I didn't walk closer. I just stood there watching him. I'd only seen him in Maya's photos before. Thought he looked decent enough. Now I could see the cowardice and calculati on in his eyes. Plain as day. Liam. Ethan's voice trembled. He gripped the thermos tighter. What are you doing here? Picking up my checkup results. My voice was even. I looked past him. Into the room. Maya was in the bed. Pale. Eyes closed. And 4 in the back of her hand. The drips fell one by one. When she was sick, I used to be the one sitting by her bed. Now it was Ethan. Good. She's where she belongs. Maybe now she'll stop bothering me. Ethan saw me looking and panicked more. Stepping fully in front of the doorway. Maya's. She's still feverish. Just fell asleep. Not my problem. I looked him in the eye. I'm not here for her. I just happened to see you. He pressed his lips together like he wanted to say something but didn't know how. After a few seconds, he managed. Liam. I know you hate me. But Maya and I really love each other. Really love each other. I laughed coldly. If you love each other so much, why are you sneaking around? Why is she kissing you the day before her wedding? Don't say love to me. Ethan. You don't get to use that word. Neither does she. His face went bright red. Then pale. He opened his mouth. I waited for whatever he was going to say. But suddenly there were hurried footsteps behind me. I turned. It was my mom. She'd clearly come to see me at the hospital. She just didn't expect to walk into this. My mom blinked. Glanced between me and Ethan. Then settled on Ethan. Her brow furrowed instantly. Who are you? Why are you arguing with my son? Ethan flinched back from her intensity and didn't say anything. But Maya on the bed heard my mom's voice and called out weakly. Ma'am. Ma'am. My mom finally noticed her in the bed. Then looked at Ethan standing guard in front. The pieces clicked. Her face went white. You're Ethan. The one who ruined my son's wedding. Before he could defend himself. My mom marched up. Grabbed him by the collar. And shoved him hard. You have some nerve. They were about to get married and you inserted yourself. What did my son ever do to you to deserve this? Ethan stumbled back and caught himself on the bed frame. His face flushed red. But he stood his ground. We love each other. Maya chose me first. This has nothing to do with your son. Love each other. My mom was shaking with anger. Pointing a finger in his face. Some love you have stealing someone's fiancé and acting like you're right. I'm not done with you. I'll make sure everyone at your job knows what kind of person you are. Other patients and nurses were gathering around now. Whispering. Some pulled out their phones. I watched the whole mess unfold and felt nothing. Just tired. I always thought even if my mom cared too much about money, at least she was on my side. Now watching her yell at Ethan over my ruined wedding. It just felt pathetic. She never cared about how hurt I was. She cared that the marriage that would set me up for life was falling apart. I stepped forward and pulled my mom's arm back. My voice was cold. Mom. Don't waste your time on him. It's not worth it. She was still furious. Turning on me. Not worth it. He ruined your wedding. We can't just let this go. Whether it's worth it or not doesn't matter to me anymore. I slipped my report into my pocket and looked at her. I came here for my test results. Not to fight. If you don't have anything else to do, go home. Don't make a scene. Without another word to either of them. Without glancing at Maya's pleading face on the bed, I turned and walked out. Back home. I spread the report on the table and stared at the line. Stomach ulcer worsening. Immediate inpatient treatment recommended. I wasn't surprised. It felt like the inevitable result of everything that had been building up. All the anger. All the hurt I'd bottled up had been eating away at me. When we were together, Maya was always on my case about my stomach. Making me eat on time. Cooking all those gentle soups. Back then I thought having someone look out for you was the safest feeling in the world. Now I know the only person you can really count on is yourself. I didn't hesitate. I called work and requested medical leave. My boss asked if something was wrong. I just said I needed to take care of my health. Didn't mention any of it. No point in airing your dirty laundry. After the call, I packed a bag for the hospital. Opening my closet. The first thing I saw was that gray hoodie Maya bought me last year. Said the color made me look good. I used to wear it all the time. Now just looking at it stung. I ripped it off the hanger and threw it in the trash. On my desk was that bottle of stomach medicine she'd given me. I'd thrown it out once before. But the cleaning lady didn't take it. So I'd set it back. Stupid. In hindsight. I picked it up and tossed it in the trash without a second look. My suitcase was packed fast. All my stuff. Nothing that had anything to do with Maya. Looking at the empty closet and desk, I actually felt lighter. I always thought 7 years was too much to just walk away from. That keeping her things was easier than throwing them out. Turns out keeping them just keeps the pain alive. My body was already warning me. I couldn't keep punishing myself. This hospital stay would be good for me. Rest my body. Clear my head. Tomorrow I'd check in and leave all this garbage behind me. First day in the hospital. The nurse walked me to my room. A bed by the window with sunlight streaming in. Not bad. Every morning, blood draw at 7. Temperature check. Pills at 8. Lunch brought by an aide. Afternoons were either 4 drips or the doctor going over instructions. Quiet. Routine. Calm. I always thought life would feel empty without Maya. Turns out without her, I can actually focus on myself. During IVs, I'd read a book I'd been meaning to finish. Or put on a podcast about work or life. The bad thoughts had a harder time creeping in. One day the nurse came in to change my bag and mentioned offhand, "A girl was at the nurse's station yesterday asking for your room number. Really pretty. Said she was a friend." My book stilled in my hands. Didn't take a genius to figure out who. I looked up at the nurse. "If she comes back asking, tell her I was discharged." "Thanks." The nurse blinked. Didn't ask questions. Just nodded and left. I stared out the window at the trees. Nothing. No feeling. Whatever she's doing now. It's not my business. Once, a visit from her would have made my day. Now it just feels like a burden. At night when I couldn't sleep, I'd write a few lines in my journal. Pen on paper. I found myself writing, "Let go of the wrong person, and you find the right life." I stared at it for a while. It was true. I'd clung to those 7 years for so long. Stubborn and hurt. Turns out when someone's wrong for you, the sooner you let go, the sooner you can move on. Once the doctor came by on rounds and asked how I was feeling emotionally. I said fine. Lighter than before. He smiled. "Good attitude is half the battle. That ulcer of yours is heavily stress-related. Don't overthink things." I nodded. I knew this hospital, I'll stay, wasn't just for my body. It was for my head too. I'd spent so long living for other people, worrying about Maya's feelings. Compromising for my mom's expectations. I forgot what I actually wanted. Now I took my pills on time. Ate properly. Rested well. Watching my numbers get better felt solid. Real. Sometimes I'd think about Maya. About the past. But it didn't hurt like it used to. It just felt like something that happened a long time ago. On the 5th day, the nurse rolled her card in with a bulging bag and set it on my nightstand. "Mr. Liam, someone dropped these off for you. Nutrition supplements and fruit." I glanced at the logo on the bag from that fancy grocery store Maya used to go to. I knew instantly. Nobody else would send this stuff. I never told her I was in the hospital. Who leaked it? My mom. Obviously. Who dropped it off? I didn't touch the bag. My voice went cold. The nurse thought for a second. A really pretty woman. Didn't leave a name. Just said it's for room 3. Of course. I nodded at the bag. Can you send it back? Tell her I don't need it. Not to bother. The nurse looked surprised, probably didn't expect me to turn it down so flatly. But she said, "Sure. I'll take care of it." After she left, I got more frustrated the more I thought about it. I called my mom. She picked up and I didn't waste time. "Mom, did you tell Maya I'm in the hospital?" There was a pause. She didn't deny it. "She cares about you. What's wrong with her sending something? Do you have to be so heartless?" "Cares about me." I laughed bitterly. If she cared, she wouldn't have been kissing someone else the day before our wedding. Now she's playing the good guy. And you know we're done. Why are you giving her an opening? I'm doing this for you. Her voice rose. Maya comes from a good family. And she knows she messed up. She's trying to make things right. And you just send it all back. You can't even be polite. Polite. My knuckles went white around the phone. When she was cheating on me, was she thinking about being polite? I just want to get better in peace. Can you please stop meddling? Meddling? I'm your mother. Would I ever hurt you? Her tone was defensive now. Maya said she'll do better. Can't you give her another chance? Why does everything have to be so final? Mom. I'm saying this one last time. Maya and I are done. My voice dropped. Stop bringing her up. Stop passing along her messages. Otherwise we can't even have a normal conversation. I hung up before she could say anything else and put my phone on silent. A little while later, the nurse came back and said everything was returned. Message delivered. I nodded. Finally. On the 7th day, my mom showed up with a thermos. She came in looking awkward. Not immediately lecturing me like usual. She set the thermos on the table and hesitated. "Liam, Maya sent some money. For your hospital bills." My hand froze mid-pagidurn. I looked up at her. "Did you take it?" She avoided my eyes. Voice small. She wanted to make it right. She feels terrible. Make it right. I slammed my book down on the nightstand. She thinks money fixes what she did. Mom, what do you think my feelings are worth? Can you put a price on them? She flinched. Then got defensive again. I'm trying to help you. The money's there. Why not use it for treatment? She's apologized. Can't you just forgive her? Forgive her. My chest was tight. My heart aching from the anger. When I caught her kissing Ethan. Did she forgive me? Did she give me a choice? Now she throws money at it and that's supposed to make everything okay. Is that what you think? I always told myself she cared about money because she'd grown up poor. But now that she'd actually taken Maya's hush money and was trying to talk me into going back, I was just disappointed. Cold. I remembered when I was little. She always told me. Have pride. Don't take things that aren't yours. She taught me to hold my head up. Now she wanted me to swallow all this humiliation for the sake of an easier life. Keep the money if you want it. I don't. My voice was cold. Final. And stop bringing up Maya. Stop passing along her messages. If I'm still your son, you'll stop getting in the middle of this. Otherwise we can't even talk. She froze there. Probably didn't expect me to be this firm. She opened her mouth like she wanted to say something. But one look at my face and she didn't. After a long silence, she picked up her thermos and walked to the door. The door clicked shut behind her. The day I was discharged. The sun was bright. I walked out of the hospital with my bag and took a deep breath. No more disinfectant smell. No more drama. On the way home, I made a decision. I was going to sell the house. We'd picked it out together last year. Great location. Nice layout. We'd squatted in the model home and she'd pointed at the balcony saying she wanted a hanging chair there. And I'd laughed and said I'd build her a built-in bookshelf. Maya said her parents would pay for it. But I'd used every cent I had saved to buy it myself. Without telling anyone. I wanted to give her the best. Back then I was so full of hope for the future. Now it all just felt like a joke. The next day I called a realtor and listed it. When the realtor came to take photos, he looked at the untouched renovation supplies and said, "Mr. Liam, this place is practically new. Why the sudden sale?" I didn't go into details. Just said, "Looking for a change of scenery." But I knew the truth. I wanted to cut every last tie with the past. The house was full of us. Keeping it was like keeping a thorn in my side. Later when clients came to view it, More than once they'd ask, "This is really cozy. Did a couple decorate it together?" I'd always cut them off. It was just a project. You can redo it however you want. I even told the realtor specifically if anyone asks about the decor. Don't mention couples or weddings. Had all the art and curtains we'd picked out together taken down. Stripped it down to the basics. After about 2 weeks, it sold. The day I got the full payment, I went to the bank and opened a new account. When I deposited the money, I wrote in the memo, "New Life Fund." Looking at the balance on my phone, I felt light. I remembered scraping together the down payment, borrowing from friends, taking an advance on my bonus, pinching pennies every day just to lock the place down, to give Maya a home. And what did she do? She took everything I gave her and kept her ex on the side. Selling the house felt like throwing out that dead weight. I could breathe again. The day after the sale, I went into the office with my resignation letter already written. I knocked on my supervisor's door and set it on his desk. "Jake, I'm resigning." He blinked, picked it up, and looked up. "Why now? You just got started on this project. You were doing great work." I smiled. Didn't get into the messy stuff. Just said, "I want a change of scenery. Moving to another city." The truth was, I needed to get out of the city full of memories. Every boba shop, the gym, even the convenience store by my office, they all had echoes of us. Staying here felt like the past was choking me. Jake tried to talk me out of it. "Think about it. We're doing raises soon. Bad timing to leave." "I've thought about it. I'm sure." My voice was steady. "Thanks for everything these past few years. I'll make sure the handoff goes smoothly." He could tell I meant it. Sighed and signed it. "All right. Good luck out there." Back at my desk packing up, there was that succulent Maya had given me. Said it'd brighten up the workspace. I used to water it every day. Now it just felt like one more thing I didn't need. I handed it to the coworker next to me. "I can't take this with me." "You want it?" She took it. Confused. "You're really leaving? Coming back?" "Probably not." I stuffed papers into a box. "We'll grab food sometime." My last day. A friend rounded up some people for a going-away dinner. Over the table, he raised his glass. "Congrats on the escape. Go kill it in the new city. Big things ahead." I clinked my glass against his and took a drink. "Thanks. That's the plan." After dinner, I did one last check of my bags. Everything packed. I pulled out my phone and started deleting contacts. Gym friends. Old classmates. Anyone connected to Maya, all gone. Last I got to my mom's new number. I hesitated. Then deleted it too. Saved it in my notes as an emergency contact. That's it. It's not that I'm cruel. I just know as long as she has my number, she'll keep bringing up Maya. Keep saying things that get under my skin. Next morning, I dragged my suitcase to the train station. Standing in the waiting area, looking at the board showing the departure to the next city over, I took a deep breath. When the train pulled in, it was drizzling a little. The air smelled fresh. I walked out of the station and didn't call anyone to pick me up. Just took a cab to the apartment I'd rented. 12th floor. Small balcony. Great light. I pushed the door open and exhaled. No Maya here. Clean white walls. Shiny floors. Even the air felt new. That afternoon I went to a furniture store. Got a lightwood desk. A comfortable couch. And carried home 2 plants from the florist. A pot hose for the balcony. A succulent for the windowsill. Maya always said I had bad taste. That everything I bought was too plain. But looking at the furniture I picked out myself, I loved every piece. Putting the desk together, my hands sore from screwing everything in. I felt grounded. This was really mine. First day at the new job. The girl at the front desk handed me my ID badge with a smile. My manager walked me around and introduced me to everyone. People were friendly. Someone came up and said, "Liam. Right. Heard you've worked on some great projects. Gonna have to show us the ropes." I smiled back. The nervousness faded. First day wasn't too busy. Mostly getting familiar with the project files. At lunch, a new coworker dragged me to the coffee shop downstairs. Chattered about the best food and spots in the city. Easy. Light. I never had that at my old job. I was always rushing home to Maya. Now I could actually focus on my work. On the way home, I passed a small park. A couple was walking hand in hand. The girl laughing and hitting the guy's arm. The guy shoving her hand in his pocket to warm it up. A few months ago I would have thought of Maya and felt that twist in my chest. Now I just glanced and kept walking. Nothing. Back at the apartment. I made myself noodles with an egg and some greens. Sat on my new couch. Eating and watching the city lights at night. The street lamps glowed warm. It was nice. I texted my old friend a photo of the balcony. New place. Not bad. He wrote back fast. Looks great. Enjoy the fresh start. I smiled and typed back. Will do. Then put my phone down and kept eating. The noodles were a little salty. But they tasted good. 3 weeks in. I was coming home from work and stopped by the package lockers. Had a delivery waiting. I scanned it open and found a thick envelope inside. No return name. Just an address I didn't recognize. I carried it upstairs. Something told me this wasn't good. I opened the mailer. A folded letter inside. Addressed for Liam only. I recognized the handwriting instantly. Maya. I held the letter and felt zero urge to open it. She used to leave me little notes. Saw you working late. Saved you dinner or raining. Don't forget your umbrella. I used to fold them up and keep them in my wallet. Now looking at this letter. All I felt was disgust. I dropped the whole thing, letter and envelope, straight in the trash. Didn't hesitate. Whatever she has to say is too late. I don't want to read any of her fake, sappy words. A couple days later. A friend request popped up on my phone. Unknown profile. The message said, "It's Ethan. Want to talk?" Seeing his name made my temple throb. I'd told him back at the hospital, "Take care of your girl. Leave me alone." Now he's adding me. Unbelievable. I opened the request. Didn't bother reading whatever he wrote. And hit decline and block. Added his number to the reject list too. When that was done, I tossed my phone on the couch and felt that old irritation flare up. I moved to a whole different city and they're still tracking me down. Do I have to be even more of an asshole before they get the message? I remembered how Maya used to say Ethan was ancient history. How she deleted his number right in front of me and said, "It's just you and me from now on." All lies. Obviously. One of them does the cheating. The other tries to play the good guy. Perfect match. That night, I set my phone to only accept calls from contacts. I didn't want anything from either of them. Not Maya's apology letters. Not Ethan's let's talk. It was all just harassment at this point. Next day at work. A new coworker noticed I looked tired and asked if I'd slept okay. I shook my head and smiled. I'm fine. Just a rough night. Friday night I was in the kitchen making noodles when my phone rang. Unknown number. But the last few digits were familiar. My mom's old number. I hadn't deleted it, kept it for emergencies. I wiped my hands and picked up. There was silence for a few seconds. Then her voice. Softer than usual. Quieter. "Liam, how are you doing over there?" I froze. My spoon hovering over the pot. Every other time she called, it was to badger me about getting back with Maya. Or to yell at me for being stubborn. She never just asked how I was. I'm good. Work's going well. The place is nice. My voice was even. No extra emotion. No edge. Silence again. Then I heard her sigh. I was wrong before. I shouldn't have pushed you. And I shouldn't have taken that money from Maya. Don't hold it against me. Okay. Something in my chest shifted softly. I thought she'd never admit she was wrong. That she'd always think she was doing what's best no matter how I felt. Now that she was saying it, I didn't know what to say. Okay. I paused. Then added. You take care of yourself too. Don't stay up so late on your phone. I used to tell her that all the time. She'd either tell me to stop nagging or just hang up. This time she didn't argue. Just made a small sound. Then asked carefully. Are you ever coming back? I looked at the noodles boiling in the pot and thought about home. How she'd make me noodles for breakfast with 2 eggs in them. Said it gave you energy for the day. We fought sometimes. But we were never this far apart. Maybe someday. I said softly. I like it here right now. When I'm settled, I'll come visit. We talked a little more. She asked about my coworkers. About the weather. Didn't mention Maya once. When we hung up, she said, call me if you need anything. Don't try to handle everything alone. I put the phone down. The noodles were done. I dished them out. Added a little vinegar. And took a bite. Tasted better than usual. 3 months to the day after I moved. I went back for a follow-up on my ulcer. The doctor held up the results and smiled. Healing nicely. Haven't had any pain lately. Right. Keep this up and you'll be fine. These 3 months had been solid. The new jobs projects were going well. Just last week my manager praised me in a meeting for picking up fast and doing great work. Gave me a raise. Weekends I ran in the park or read at home. Sometimes I'd get hot pot with the people from work. I used to always eat whatever Maya wanted, all that mild, gentle food. Now I could eat spicy again. Didn't have to hold back for anyone. Once we went out for hot pot and the server set down a dual flavor pot. My coworker asked, "Spicy or mild?" I pointed straight at the red, spicy side, watching the chili peppers and fiery red spices boil. I thought about how Maya always said spicy is bad for your stomach. Go easy on it. I used to listen. Now I know real care isn't controlling someone. It's respecting what they like. But thinking about it didn't hurt anymore. All those memories of Maya had been cleaned out. That evening on the way home, I opened the balcony window. The evening breeze drifted in, carrying the scent of flowers. I pulled a chair out and sat, watching the sunset. Orange and red clouds stretched across the sky like a painting. I used to be so busy working late, rushing to see Maya, I never stopped to watch a sunset. Now I had the time. Now it felt peaceful. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A text from my mom, "Weather's getting cooler. Dress warm." I texted back, "Got it. You too." Ever since she apologized. We'd text occasionally. Nothing about Maya. Nothing about the past. Just small things. Everyday stuff. Things were getting better between us. I looked out at the sunset and felt the corner of my mouth tug up. These 3 months. I'd broken my habit of staying up late. I ate on time. The ulcer hadn't flared up once. Work was going well. I'd made new friends. No Maya showing up out of nowhere. No fighting with my mom about my future. Life was simple. Good. All those terrible days were finally behind me. All the hurt and the anger finally let go of. From now on, I'm going to work hard, live well, and take care of myself.